News alert, the Ayatollah's gone into hiding. He's believed to be holed up inside an underground bunker northeast of the capital. This is a different kind of Iranian hostage crisis.
Иран выполнял все взятые на себя обязательства по известному соглашению, о котором мы сейчас упомянули. Все. К Ирану.
Welcome back to AfriFreedom Channel, where we bring you the most critical, thought-provoking updates and insights from across the globe. If you're new here, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss an important update like this one. And as we dive into today's very intense and eye-opening developments, we encourage you to engage with us by sharing your thoughts respectfully in the comment section below. Your opinions matter. Disclaimer: the following content is for informational and educational purposes only. It does not constitute professional advice or an endorsement of any political stance or action. We encourage critical thinking and respectful discussion. Viewer discretion is advised. Now, let's get into it. Russian President Vladimir Putin recently delivered a hard-hitting statement that cuts right to the core of ongoing tensions with Iran.
Иран выполнял все взятые на себя обязательства по известному соглашению, о котором мы сейчас упомянули. Все. К Ирану невозможно предъявить никаких претензий. Затем Соединенные Штаты в одностороннем порядке решили выйти из этого соглашения, а европейцы продолжили требовать от Ирана, чтобы он выполнял взятые на себя обязательства. Но это, вы уж меня простите, но это какой-то бред. Не Иран же вышел из этого соглашения. США вышли. Бывший президент Трамп взял и принял решение выйти из соглашения. А европейцы говорят: да, это не очень хорошо, что американцы вышли, но вы, иранцы, все соблюдаете. С какого хрена-то иранцы, извините, так по-русски звучит грубовато немножко.
According to Putin, and I quote, Iran fulfilled the deal. The US tore it up. Trump walked away, yet Europe demanded Iran stay loyal. Why the hell should Iran comply with a deal the West abandoned? These are powerful words. They remind the world of a critical fact: it was not Iran that broke the agreement, but the West that unilaterally walked away. How do we now expect Iran to remain committed to a deal that has already been shattered? This brings up fundamental questions about fairness, international diplomacy, and trust. Can any nation realistically be expected to honor an agreement when the other side has already shown bad faith? And what does this signal to the rest of the world about the reliability of Western-led international agreements? Think about it: would you trust a partner who has already walked away from their promises? At the same time, voices are growing louder in the West, particularly in the United States, calling for even more aggressive actions. A recent post stated bluntly, America must let Israel finish what they started.
The remarks made by Donald Trump are completely unwarranted, are very hostile. We cannot ignore them. We are vigilant about what Donald Trump is saying. We will put it in our calculations, in our assessments, and there is a line which, if crossed, there should be a response on our side. And that line will be defined by our relevant authorities, including military forces. And once the red line is crossed, the response will come. We are totally ready to give appropriate response to any development. We will follow the developments, we will follow the actions of the United States, and at any time, at any point, if we come to the conclusion that the United States is directly involved in attacks against Iran, we will start responding to United States.
Finish what they started mean in this context. Are we looking at an escalation towards a broader regional conflict? What would the humanitarian and geopolitical costs of such an approach be? How would this impact not just Iran and Israel, but the entire Middle East, and indeed the world economy, which is so tightly linked to this volatile region. We must ask, is war truly the answer here? Or should the international community be urgently pushing for dialogue and diplomacy instead of fueling the flames of conflict? To make matters even more tense, reports now indicate that former US President Donald Trump has allegedly approved attack plans against Iran.
Fox News alert, the Ayatollah's gone into hiding. He's believed to be holed up inside an underground bunker northeast of the capital. This is a different kind of Iranian hostage crisis. Khomeini can hide, but he can't run. For the past 24 hours, Israel's been attacking the area around his underground lair. But Khomeini, still talking tough, says Iran will not surrender to anyone. And is warning that if America joins the fight and strikes, it'll result in irreparable damage to the United States. Is he bluffing? We don't know. Iranian proxies, which have been severely degraded, are threatening to commit acts of terror against American troops and American ships in the region. And American businesses are now bracing for cyber attacks. Trump says, good luck with that. We won't be bullied.
I was the hunted, and now I'm the hunter. There's a big difference. That means I've had it. Okay, I've had it. I give up. No more. Then we go blow up all the, all the nuclear stuff that's all over the place there. No, they had bad intentions. For 40 years they've been saying death to America, death to Israel, death to anybody else that they didn't like. They were bullies. They were schoolyard bullies. And now they're not bullies anymore.
Trump's been meeting in the Situation Room with his national security team. Head of Central Command, Army General Eric Kurilla, they call him the Gorilla, has been instrumental in the war planning. The Pentagon's sending in their new state-of-the-art supercarrier, the USS Gerald Ford, and amassing a tremendous amount of assets in the area. Today, Trump had lunch with Pakistan's army chief. Pakistan borders Iran. Seems like something's about to happen. Trump's not showing his cards yet.
Whether you are moving closer or you believe the U.S. is moving closer to striking Iranian nuclear facilities. Where's your mindset on that?
I can't say that, right? You don't seriously think I'm going to answer that question. Will you strike the Iranian nuclear component? And what time exactly, sir? Sir, would you strike it? Would you please inform us so we can be there and watch? I mean, you don't know that I'm going to even do it. You don't know. I may do it. I may not do it. I mean, nobody knows what I'm going to do.
And this is just breaking. The Wall Street Journal is reporting Trump privately approved attack plans against Iran. Now, we don't know what these plans entail, but we're told they include U.S. airstrikes. Unsure if that includes bunker busters. Remember, the latest version of the bunker buster has never been used on the battlefield. It's only been tested. Axios reports that Trump has been quizzing his generals. Are they sure if he uses them, they'll be 100% effective? The generals say yes, but Trump's not completely convinced. Caroline Leavitt says all options remain on the table. Trump's been waiting on giving the final order, seeing if the Iranians give up and surrender their nuke program peacefully. Sources in D.C. say Trump's out of patience and Iran's up against the clock.
I believe that unless Iran surrenders in the next 48 hours, the United States, in conjunction with Israel, will engage in military action.
Trump says the Iranians want to fly all the way to the White House to negotiate an end to this. But he says it's too late. He doesn't appear to be open to long, drawn-out negotiations where he gets strung along like last time.
We're not looking for a ceasefire. We're looking for a total, complete victory. Again, you know what the victory is. No nuclear weapon.
Trump's made a decision. Iran's nuclear program is gone. The person who ultimately decides that is the Ayatollah. He can either let us do it peacefully or we'll do it violently. But either way, the outcome of this war is this. The Iranians will never be able to acquire a nuclear weapon, ever. But time's running out for both sides. Israel's reportedly running low on defensive interceptors, and Iran's reportedly running low on missiles. Iran's also running out of allies. They don't have any friends left in the region. And China, their biggest customer, quiet. And Putin, he has his own problems.
I spoke to him yesterday, and I said, he actually offered to help mediate. I said, do me a favor. mediate your own. Let's mediate Russia first, okay? I said, Vladimir, let's mediate Russia first. You can worry about this later.
The Persians are pinned up against the wall. They've been completely humiliated by a tiny Jewish nation, a fraction of the size of Iran. And now the Daily Wire is reporting that the Mossad set up a fake hotline in Iran and ordered top Iranian military officials into an emergency meeting. And the generals were lured into a small bunker in Tehran before Israel wiped them out with a precision airstrike. And inside of the country, you're starting to see unrest. Sanctions have crippled their economy so badly that workers are rioting over delayed payments. Manufacturers are striking over high inflation. Schools, cement factories, and pharmaceutical plants are shutting down. The Iranian currency is getting shredded. And Israel's hitting Iranian energy infrastructure, which is going to create price shocks and shortages. So with the streets teetering and its military commanders assassinated, a nuke might be the Ayatollah's only hope. No one really knows how fast they could spin up a device and strap it into a warhead, but Trump says they're only a few weeks away. Back in March, Tulsi Gabbard said the Iranians were enriching uranium at record levels.
In the past year, we've seen an erosion of a decades-long taboo in Iran on discussing nuclear weapons in public, likely emboldening nuclear weapons advocates within Iran's decision-making apparatus. Iran's enriched uranium stockpile is at its highest levels and is unprecedented for a state without nuclear weapons.
So will the United States end Iran's nuclear program with a 30,000-pound bunker buster? Or can Israel end it themselves? Israel admits they have options. They could knock out the power plants that run the underground nuke facility. And since they control the air, Israeli commandos could be inserted and fight their way in and then detonate the site with dynamite. If America does it, there would be consequences, nuclear contamination, and internationally there could be some fallout, although I'm sure Trump could handle it. Either way, the Iranians would retaliate and the United States would have to go back onto a war footing in the Middle East. The whole world's watching. It's the biggest moment of the Trump presidency. China and Russia surveying the scene, and so are our trade partners. We're at this moment in history because of Obama and Biden. They signed a toothless nuke deal that let the Iranians keep enriching and let them keep their ballistic missiles, and paid them billions of dollars, which they used to finance their war machine and proxies. Proxies which have been killing Americans for decades. Marines in Beirut, soldiers in Iraq, and taking Americans hostage in Gaza and inside of Iran. American deterrence, backed by the threat of violence, is what maintains order in the world. And sometimes there comes a time when the commander-in-chief has to use force to nourish the deterrence and keep the American people safe. Is this one of those times? We're about to find out.
The message making the rounds boldly declares the guerrilla is coming and the Ayatollahs rushing into a bunker to hide. The Iranians say they're not surrendering, they're planning a terror attack. This rhetoric is not only inflammatory, it is dangerous. It sets the stage for a catastrophic cycle of violence and retaliation. With tensions already sky-high, is this the moment to be escalating military threats? And more importantly, what role is the media playing in this? Are such aggressive headlines and narratives pushing the world closer to the brink of war? How will ordinary civilians, who always pay the heaviest price in any conflict, be affected by these decisions made in distant halls of power? In closing, the situation we are witnessing is complex, fraught with historical grievances, political missteps, and the ever-present threat of open conflict. It demands critical thought, not blind acceptance of dominant narratives. At AfriFreedom Channel, we will continue to follow these developments closely and bring you the insights you need to stay informed. What do you think about these unfolding events? Do you believe that diplomacy can still prevail, or are we watching the first steps towards a much larger confrontation? Is there still hope for peace? Thank you for watching AfriFreedom Channel.